Potentially $120 at the Chiltsville supermarket that doubled coupons had all gone bad. Tilex, 60 cents off. Excedrin PM, $1 off. The dates were not even close. The dates were historical. The alarm bell had been ringing for years. She pushed the coupons back in among the candles and shut the drawer. She was looking for a letter that had come by registered mail some days ago. Alfred had heard the mailman knock on the door and had shouted, "Enid! Enid!" so loudly that he couldn't hear her shouting back, "Al, I'm getting it!" He'd continued to shout her name, coming closer and closer, and because the sender of the letter was the Axon Corporation, 24 East Industrial Serpentine, Schwenksville, PA, and because there were aspects of the Axon situation that Enid knew about and hoped that Alfred didn't, she'd quickly stashed the letter somewhere within 15 feet of the front door. Alfred had emerged from the basement, bellowing like a piece of earth-moving equipment. "There's somebody at the door!" And he'd shaken his head at the complexity of it all. Enid felt sure that her own head would clear if she only didn't have to wonder every 5 minutes what Alfred was up to. But try as she might, she couldn't get him interested in life. When she encouraged him to take up his metallurgy again, he looked at her as if she'd lost her mind. When she asked whether there wasn't some yard work he could do, he said his legs hurt. When she reminded him that the husbands of her friends all had hobbies, Dave Shumpert his stained glass, Kirby Root his intricate chalets for nesting purple finches, Chuck Meisner his hourly monitoring of his investment portfolio, Alfred acted as if she were trying to distract him from some great labor of his. And what was that labor? Repainting the porch furniture? He'd been repainting the love seat since Labor Day. She seemed to recall that the last time he'd painted the furniture, he'd done the love seat in 2 hours. Now he went to his workshop morning after morning, and after a month she ventured in to see how he was doing and found that all he'd painted of the love seat was the legs. He seemed to wish that she would go away. He said that the brush had got dried out, that was what was taking so long. He said that scraping wicker was like trying to peel a blueberry. He said that there were crickets. She felt a shortness of breath then, but perhaps it was only the smell of gasoline and of the dampness of the workshop that smelled like urine, but could not possibly be urine. She fled upstairs to look for the letter from Axon. 6 days a week, several pounds of mail came through the slot in the front door. And since nothing incidental was allowed to pile up downstairs, since the fiction of living in this house was that no one lived here, Enid faced a substantial tactical challenge. She didn't think of herself as a guerrilla, but a guerrilla was what she was. By day she ferried materiel from depot to depot, often just a step ahead of the governing force. By night, beneath a charming but too dim sconce at a too small table in the breakfast nook, she staged various actions, paid bills, balanced checkbooks, attempted to decipher Medicare copayment records, and make sense of a threatening third notice from a medical lab that demanded immediate payment of 22 cents while simultaneously showing an account balance of 0 carried forward and thus indicating that she owed nothing and in any case offering no address to which remittance might be made. It would happen that the first and second notices were underground somewhere, and because of the constraints under which Enid waged her campaign, she had only the dimmest sense of where those other notices might be on any given evening. She might suspect, perhaps, the family room closet, but the governing force, in the person of Alfred, would be watching a network news magazine at a volume thunderous enough to keep him awake, and he had every light in the family room burning, and there was a non-negligible possibility that if she opened the closet door, a cascade of catalogs and house beautifuls and miscellaneous Merrill Lynch statements would come toppling and sliding out, incurring Alfred's wrath. Alfred's cries of rage on discovering evidence of guerrilla actions, a Nordstrom bag surprised in broad daylight on the basement stairs, nearly precipitating a tumble, were the